installment of boring shit you won't listen to very long. Sayings and Doings of Pai-Chang, Part 3. B. B. I forget how I'm numbering them. I think it's 3. Alright. He continues. All that we did yesterday, this is still talk to untie bonds. They themselves are whole. Don't wound them. Even Buddha, Bodhisattva are such wounds. As long as you speak of anything existent, non-existent, or whatever, all these are wounds. Existence and non-existence refer to all things. Even those of the 10th stage, different stages of Bodhisattva awareness levels. Even those of the 10th stage are still beings of the river of impure streams. They create a teaching of a pure stream and establish characteristics of purity, explaining the inflictions of impurity. In the past, the 10 great disciples of Shakyamuni Buddha, behold the names I cannot pronounce, Shariputra, Purnamaitrayanipudra, Ananda of true faith, Sonakshitara of the false faith, and the rest, each has his individual aspect. Each had his individual characteristic condition. One by one, they had their errors thoroughly examined thoroughly explained away by the guide. In the 4 stages of meditation and 8 absorptions, even states and such dwell in absorption for as long as 80,000 eons. They depend upon and cling to what they practice, intoxicated by the wine of pure things. Therefore, people who are disciples, though they hear the teaching of the enlightened one, are not able to conceive of the spirit of the unexcelled way. That is why people who cut off the roots of goodness have no enlightened nature. As Scripture says, this is called the deep pit of liberation, a fearsome place. If for one instant the mind retreats, it falls into hell as fast as an arrow shot. Yet, one cannot talk only in terms of retreating or of not retreating. Consider the likes of Manjurshi, Avalokiteshvara, and Mahatantamaprapata. They come back to the stage of entering the stream, the way to enlightenment, mingling with various kinds of beings to lead them. You cannot say they retreat or regress. At such a time, they are just called people who have entered the stream. If the immediate mirror awareness is just not concerned by anything at all, existent or non-existent, and can pass through the 3 stages, as well as through all things, pleasant or unpleasant, even if one hears of 100, 1,000, and 10,000 or 100 million Buddhas appearing in the world, it is just as if one had not heard. Yet one does not dwell in not hearing either, nor does one make an understanding of not dwelling. You cannot say that this person retreats. Measurements and calculations do not apply to such a one. This is the Buddhas always abiding in the world without being habituated to the things of the world. Say that the Buddha turns the wheel of the teaching and retreats thereafter is to slander the enlightened one, his teaching, and community. To say that the Buddha does not turn the wheel of teaching and does not retreat is also to slander the enlightened one, his teaching and community. I get lovely. Sing Cao said, "The way of enlightenment cannot be measured or calculated. It is so high that there is nothing above it, and so vast that it cannot be limited, so profound that it is bottomless, so deep that it cannot be fathomed. Speaking of it is like setting up a target mound, inviting an arrow. To speak of the mirror awareness is still not really right, by way of the impure." Oh, come on. Blah, 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 blah. My brain's going numb. How you guys holding up? My brain's going numb. Okay, to speak of the mirror awareness is still not really right. By way of the impure, discern the pure. If you say the immediate mirror awareness is correct, or that there is something else beyond the mirror awareness, this is all delusion. If you keep dwelling in the immediate mirror awareness, this too is the same as delusion. It is called the mistake of naturalism. To say the present mirror awareness is one's own Buddha is words of measurement, words of calculation. It is like the crying of a jackal. It is still being stuck, as in glue at the gate. Originally, you did not acknowledge that innate knowing and awareness are your own Buddha, and went running elsewhere to seek Buddha. So you needed a teacher to tell you about innate knowing and awareness as a medicine to cure this disease of hastily seeking outside. Now, once you no longer seek outwardly, the disease is cured, and it is necessary to remove the medicine. If you cling fixedly to innate knowing awareness, this is a disease of meditation. Such is a thoroughgoing disciple. Like water turned to ice. All the ice is water, but it can hardly be expected to quench thirst. That's interesting. I'm going to have to think about those words for a little while. That's nice. He also said, with a fatal disease, ordinary physicians fold their arms, unable to do anything. There has never been such a thing as Buddha. Do not understand it as Buddha. Buddha is a medicine for sentient beings. Without disease, one shouldn't take medicine. When medicine and disease are both dissolved, it is like pure water. Buddhahood is like a sweet herb mingling with the water, or like honey mixed with the water. It is most sweet and delicious, but if you judge from the standpoint of the pure water, it is not affected. It is not that it doesn't exist. It is originally there. He also said, I wonder if he said that. He also said, this principle is originally present in everyone. All the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas may be called people pointing out a jewel. Fundamentally, it is not a thing. You don't need to know or understand it. You don't need to affirm or deny it. Just cut off dualism. Cut off the supposition it exists, and the supposition does not exist. Cut off the supposition it is non-existent, and the supposition it is not non-existent. When traces do not appear on either side, then neither lack nor sufficiency, neither profane nor holy, not light or dark. This is not having knowledge, yet not lacking knowledge. Not bondage, not liberation. It is not any name or category at all. Why is this not true speech? How can you carve and polish emptiness to make an image of Buddha? How can you say that emptiness is blue, yellow, red, or white? As it is said, reality has no comparison, because there is nothing to which it may be likened. The body or reality is not constructed, and does not fall within the scope of any classification. That is why it is said, the substance of the sage is nameless and cannot be spoken of. The empty door of truth, as it really is, cannot be tarried in. It is like the case of insects being able to alight anywhere, only they can't alight on the flames of a fire. Sentient beings' minds are also like this, in that they can form relations anywhere, only they cannot relate to transcendent wisdom. When you call on teachers and seek some knowledge or understanding, this is the demon of teachers, because it gives rise to verbalization and opinion. If you rouse the 4 universal vowels, promising to rescue all living beings, only thereafter to finally attain Buddhahood yourself, this is the demon of knowledge of the way. This is the demon of the knowledge of the way of the warrior for enlightenment, because the vow is never given up. If you fast and control yourself, practice meditation, and cultivate wisdom, these are afflicted roots of goodness. Even if you sit on the site of enlightenment and manifest attainment of complete perfect awakening, and rescue innumerable people so that they may all experience individual enlightenment, this is the demon of the roots of goodness, since it arouses greedy attachment. If in the midst of all things you are utterly without any defilement by greed, so your aware essence exists alone, dwelling in exceedingly deep absorption, without ever rising or progressing anymore. This is the demon of concentration. Because you'll be forever addicted to enjoying it until ultimate extinction. Detached from desire, quiescent and still. This is still demon work. If your wisdom cannot shed so many demon nets, even if you can understand 100 books of knowledge, all of it is in the dregs of hell. If you seek to be like Buddha, there is no way for you to do so. Now that you hear me say not to be attached to anything, whether good or bad, existent or non-existent or whatever, you immediately take that to be falling into emptiness. You don't know that to abandon the root and pursue the branches is to fall into emptiness, to seek Buddhahood, to seek enlightenment or anything at all, whether it may exist or not, is abandoning the root and pursuing the branches. eat simple food to sustain life, patch rags to keep off the cold. When thirsty, scoop up water to drink. Beyond this, if one just harbors no thought at all of concern for anything at all, existent or non-existent or otherwise, this person will in time, what will he do? Because I lost my whole place. Will in time have his share of ease and clarity. A good teacher does not cling to existent or non-existence. He has abandoned the 10 expressions of demon talk. And when he speaks forth, he does not entangle or bind others. Whatever he says, he does not call it a teacher's explanation, like a valley echo. His words fill the land without fault. He is worthy of trust and association. If one should say, I am capable of explaining, I am able to understand, I am the teacher, and you are the disciple, this is the same as demon talk. And it is to speak of the way pointlessly. Once you've actually seen the existence of the way, to say, this is Buddha, this is not Buddha, this is enlightenment, this is not enlightenment, this is extinction, liberation, and so forth. It's to pointlessly express partial knowledge. Or to lift a finger and say, this is Jan, this is the path. Such words entangle and bind others without end. Pai-Chang agrees. Pai-Chang, I read him a lot earlier. He's easier to understand than Pai-Chang. Oh, it's a little rhyme, how fun. He will be the one to explain this. He'll also explain the pit of liberation to the hammer de Hoy. Swampland, flowers. Okay, very thirsty. Next up will be Layman Pang, because we already read Hung Bo. Hung Bo was this one student. Layman Pang was one who didn't become a master teacher person. He just liked to hang out with his buddies. All the other masters and teachers were like his posse. And so these are encounters and stories of him visiting the other masters. You know, what did the masters talk about while they're having tea? This is this book, and he is also Pai-Chang's student. So that's fascinating. We have, lore. I like lore. I only have 2 more minutes on the reading. So let me see. They would entangle and bind others without end. This only increases the ties to mendicants. Mendicants. I need to figure out what that is. And without ever speaking, there is still fault of the mouth. Rather be master of mind. Don't be mastered by mind. In the incomplete teaching, there is a teacher of humans and gods, Buddha. There is a guide. In the complete teaching, he is not teacher of humans and gods, and does not make doctrine of the master. If you are not yet able to resort to the mystic mirror, then, for the time being, if you can resort to the complete teaching, you will still have some share of familiarity with it. As for the incomplete teaching, it is only fitting to speak of it to deaf worldlings. For now, just do not depend on anything existent, non-existent, or whatever, and do not dwell in non-dependence. But also do not make an understanding of not depending or dwelling. And this is called great knowledge. Yeah, we'll stop here. He also said is next. a good place to stop it. Alright, dudes. Thank you for your hearty participation. Labor of love and all. That's what I do it for.